why do you want to be the president of Nigeria?
We can deliver. We have much more to do, not showing personal interest compared to my brothers and sisters in the race. But I believe we have what it takes to change the country and to change the narratives.
All right. So if you're asked what's wrong with Nigeria, how do you give a small summary of what is wrong with Nigeria and why you are the right person?
Very good. A small summary goes this way. First is the dignifying your women. Second is empowering your youth. Third is taking care or managing the elders. And 4 is securing your country. And number 5 is joining the international community's mainstream destination in terms of the following 4 issues, as in respect of your own country and in relation with the entire world, so that your country will now be recognized. What are these 4 issues in this 5th point? They are your own internal security and global security. Second is relevance. Relevance in all ramifications from international understanding, memorandum, and then from also international correspondences with your own country has been relevant. Third is the issue of diplomacy. And 4 is bringing your country to the fore, to know that your security, your economy, and social justice are restored. And number 6 point is restoring Nigeria's lost heritage. And then from that perspective, bringing the core value of Nigeria to the fore and managing it.
Correct. When you look at the top 4 candidates, what do they lack that you have?
With all sense of humility, I don't think there is comparison, and I will explain. But within the 4 that the media has occupied in bringing them to the fore, they are doing it because of the high patronage with the media. What we are doing is in phases. This particular phase I'm in is called personal secret consultation with all the organs of the country from the point of view of the general public. And I think we have concluded it. So by next week, we are going into the second phase. So we have faced it and culminating up to the election day. And that is the way we have faced out our own. We are not copying anybody. We are looking at the country from our own written and mental appreciation as to what to do with the time available. On the other hand, comparing us with the 4 who the media are actually bringing to the fore as the best in their eyes. When we kickstart, I'm sure the difference will set in. You will begin to see the yardstick with which they have identified the 4 coming more to us. In terms of capacity, ability, dependability, reliability, in terms of exemplariness, in terms of conduct, in terms of promises, in terms of prowess in leadership, in terms of genuineness, in terms of capacity to display, and then the guts, the capacity and the bravery with which to take tough decisions for and on behalf of 200 million people plus. I don't think there's any comparison, my dear brother. I know what we have done yesterday when Nigeria was facing the worst threats ever. I know with our resources, the much we have done in restoring Nigeria so that Nigerian populace had nothing to feel other than few people who attacked the system, calling it bad name us at that time. So I know what we did out of no resources that was inherited. And then with the new innovative policies that came and helped the masses. In fact, it helped numerous other African countries from those simple policies we have. Yeah, we shall be seen to be coming back home to invest and take from what we are or what we have in our package that will restore Nigeria's respect, dignity at home and abroad, and then will now be seen to, with the innovations we have that is waiting for Nigerians to take, should we be voted in to come 2023, Nigerians will be very, very proud of us and will be very proud of their country.
So you will be okay if you are president and some military officers decided to overthrow the government. It's okay for you because they are following orders. Is that right?
No, I think you're getting it wrong. If a group of military officers come together and remove a government, then any other person that comes to take them, they are already a constituted authority of that country. That's all I'm talking about. If I were to be part of the coup from conception to its own stages of execution, then I'm part and parcel of that. I remember, as at that time, what was Mustapha's strength? Had I even a battalion under me? No.
Okay. Now, you've defended Abacha several places in several interviews. You said you had no regrets working
Correct.
for Sani Abacha.
Correct.
What do you think about this? All the accusations against him that his government was brutal, killed a lot of people. Do you think they are all made up?
Well, I cannot say that. Reason being that I was a CSO, the definition of my primary and secondary responsibilities were well defined, and this I'm sure are known to Nigerians. Protecting the president, his family, and the state of government, this was under my care. And I protected that, and nothing happened during the tenure of my own office. So to say that I am the one to account for the police, for other security agencies in the country, for the army, for the navy, for air force, I think it's wrong. That we have had service chiefs, we have had IG of police, we have had Joint Intelligence Bureau of Nigeria, we have had National Security Advisor, we have had heads of paramilitary, each and every one of them. We have had the Minister of Defense, the staff of Minister of Defense, and the Minister of Defense of that time. So all these are different from my primary schedules. And that's why we said, even when General Abacha came to power, I did one thing that wasn't there. I restructured the security department that I headed. And as a result of that, to display honesty and transparency, all other security agencies, including paramilitary, for the first time in the history of Nigeria, I worked it out in such a way that they all had representation in the seat of government, meaning in the presidency. So whatever was happening in the presidency, all other security agencies in Nigeria were aware of. It never happened before. I introduced it to this country. I don't know if they are still practicing it now, but that is the way it is supposed to be.
Every now and then money comes into the country. They return money from other foreign countries. And they said that this money was Abacha loot. I know that you've gone out there defending Abacha, saying that Abacha was never in most of these countries where
Correct.
they said this money, they got this money from. And how could they now say that this was his money? Do you stand by that?
Yes, my brother. See, I spoke on what I knew. So the question of if you say you are defending Abacha, it shows I'm defending him rightly or wrongly, whichever way. I spoke on what I knew and what I saw. What I talked about was on the issue of sanctions enforced on Nigeria. And it was Nigerians who invited sanctions against Nigeria, particularly one particular former president of this country sneaked into one bigger country. And I still have a document that he tendered, pretending Nigeria to be in a certain gloomy situation and seeking for enforcement of sanctions so that when Nigerians feel the pains, they will support him to uproot Abacha out of our quote and unquote. It's in that document.
What happened to Abacha? How did he die?
The two were killed, and Nigerians are aware I said so.
Killed by government or by external people? Who killed them?
Well, if you can tolerate me to get there, let that be. But I will not enjoy the court. I explained carefully at that material time. I said the pattern of death for the two political actors in Nigeria or political giants were similar and the same. They died gasping for air. They died with their hearts swollen, and so their chest was heavily swollen, and that is how both of them were buried.
High Court sacked you as a candidate of the party. What happened?
Well, there was a small friction within the leadership of the party, even before I joined. But I joined and met a chairman of the party, and then the other faction actually were the ones that took the matter to court. And then there is a game that I thank God has been uncovered with connivance of people from INEC. And then that has come to the fore because we have already written the code. And then the party, the other faction of the party, that took the matter to the court. So processes or procedure were not followed, but there are games in it that is there in trying to kill my candidature. But I understand what they have done in the court on Friday is beyond the party puzzle. That is a minor issue for us to, for the party to sort itself. There are some interested parties in Nigeria who believe that our candidature is a threat to them. And the way we are, believing that Nigeria ought not to be where it is. Nigeria and Nigerians have been cheated. I cannot waver on that. I cannot waver on Nigeria's welfare and well-being. We are dogmatic when it comes to Nigeria's safety and well-being and Nigerians wherever they are. That standing and these speeches I have given time and time again informed the games that came to the court on Friday. But hold on and see. From Monday, letters were already written to the chairman of INEC, to the chief judge in Abuja, and then parties were also written to regarding the game that came up. And I thank God already there is a press conference by the party. There are numerous reactions to our supporters across and outside Nigeria to know that it's a game and it has nothing to do with law.